Welcome back, my sweet friends. How about Dixie doing pretty girl with Paul? She'll sit there for hours and just let him brush her. She is such a little diva. And if you tell her she's going to be on camera, she's like, she's so cute. So welcome. I hope everyone is doing well. We have been busy around the home, especially in the kitchen. We're trying to get a lot of our garden produce in and freeze it. So we thought we would share some of that with you today, as well as a quick tutorial on how we generate compost. And Paul's going to take you outside and show you our composter and how we use it. And then at the end, I had some corn cobs. Yes, corn cobs in the freezer, and we made a corn cob broth, which turned into an amazing corn chowder, because you know we're all about zero food waste. So I hope this video is encouraging to you. If you are new, click that subscribe button. Come on in, be part of our family, and by all means, give this a big thumbs up. So we're going to get right into this. We want to share first how we make and prepare our tomato sauce for freezing. Now, this is a kind of different version than your traditional boil the tomatoes on the stove for several hours. This is more of a quick, fresh sauce. So when you defrost it, the taste of the fresh tomatoes comes through, and it's a much lighter sauce than if you were to cook it all day. So here it is, and I hope you enjoy it. We're going to start with this beautiful basket full of Roma tomatoes. We're going to wash them, take the stems off, and then just chop them coarsely. I am going to make a fresh sauce. In other words, I'm going to just take some Kalamata olives, a little olive oil, tomatoes, basil, make a big pot of sauce, and then individually freeze it. But we'll take you along. So we're making this sauce with about 3 pounds of tomatoes at a time. This way it's in manageable batches for us. First thing I did was heat up a half a cup of good extra virgin olive oil. To that, I'm adding about a half a cup of fresh chopped basil. We've got garlic to taste. We're going to do 1 very large clove minced. You're going to want this on low heat once that garlic heats to temperature. I'm adding a half a cup pitted and chopped Kalamata olives. Just gonna mix this around. And the smell in this kitchen right now, just stand back. It's so good. I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of rinsed capers. I'm gonna put this up to medium, and we're just gonna give this a good stir. Now, this is a fresh sauce, so you don't have to cook this a tremendous amount of time. You just want this nice and hot and the flavors to melt. This is 3 pounds of chopped and seeded tomatoes. And we're gonna add this. And I know in the beginning, maybe you thought that was a lot of olive oil, but we're putting 3 pounds of tomatoes in. That is gonna be the sauce. That's what's going to be the flavor in this sauce when it's done. This is only our first batch. We have several batches we have to do. Now, what I will do is cook this for about another 10 minutes. And then we're going to portion it into servings in each plastic bag, but we'll show you that. You can see after about 10 minutes of cooking how this broke down. This is exactly what we want. And I don't want to turn this into a heavily cooked tomato sauce. I want that fresh tomato flavor to come through. So now what I'm going to do is let this cool, and then we'll bag it up. So we made another big batch, and what I did, I put 2 cups in each Ziploc freezer bag, and what I'm going to do is freeze them flat, because this will help with storage so much. And then once they're frozen, I'll write the month and the year on it, but I guarantee you they'll be gone by December or January, no problem. So that's all there is to it. That sauce is very, very good. You can put it over any kind of pasta like shells or ziti, so that sauce gets all around the pasta, inside of the pasta. It's a blast of summertime flavor any time of the year. Now we're going to take you outside, go to the garden, show you what's going on with Paul's corn patch. You'll remember Paul planted a patch of corn because he didn't want to buy grass seed. So let's see how that's doing. We're going to show you our string beans, and then Paul's going to take you and show you the composter. You all remember Paul's patch of corn he planted when he didn't want to buy grass seed? Well, hello corn. We have real live ears of corn everywhere. So happy about this. Who knew my husband's little experiment would be so fruitful? Paul is in our lower garden. How are we doing with the string beans?
Look at these plants, they're just amazing. They took over the corn.
Yeah, they really did. Sorry for the background noise. There's like cicadas buzzing and there's a truck going by. But we are cleaning up all the beans as well. We had a lot of questions about how we compost. So Paul's going to show you our composter and how we use it.
I know a lot of you have been asking about our compost and how we generate our compost. Let me show you what I got here. Back behind the bushes in the corner of the yard, we have this cool little thing right here. And I was able to get this for free at a county recycling center where you bring your household chemicals and used batteries and stuff and drop it off. And believe it or not, they were giving these things away for free. So I brought it home. There's a little door on the bottom that you can open up and use a shovel to remove the compost when you need to use it. And basically what we do is you take the top off and you throw your scraps in there. This is your scraps from the kitchen. We have eggshells, coffee grounds, we have husks of corn, any lettuce or ends, everything goes in here except meat. You don't want fat or bones or meat. This is strictly organic greens from the kitchen. Some people mix in lawn clippings and leaves. What you do once in a while is you come over to this and you turn it over. Just keep turning it over. See how moist it is? And you're gonna get flies and hopefully you get worms in there. That's good. That's what you want it to do. And the eggshells, they'll add calcium to it. And that's all I do. And as we compost, this stuff breaks down to dirt. As you can see, dirt. So it's really neat and it's free and it's a lot of fun. And it really grows tomatoes and other produce like you wouldn't believe.
Just some ways we save money. Compost is expensive, and I think when you make it your own, there is a richness to that compost because you know exactly what is going in there. So we thought that would be fun to share. Now we're going to take you back into the kitchen. I'm going to show you how to make some corn cob broth and some hearty, creamy corn chowder. Let's go. Those of you who follow me might have seen my food prep video where we took corn on the cob and froze it. And what I am doing now is taking a bag of frozen cob that I had put away in the freezer. There are 5 of them. And I am going to be making some cob broth. I throw in about a half of onion. I'm going to add 8 cups of water. And I'm going to add some cracked black pepper. That's all it is. And what I want to make is a corn chowder. And I'm trying to use up what was in the freezer. A little bit of ham left over from Easter. I had the corn cobs, so it's time to boil these up. I'm going to give this a little bit of a stir. You know we are constantly striving for that 0 food waste. And there is so much flavor left in the cob of the corn once you take that corn off to freeze it. We're going to cover it, bring it to a boil, and then let it simmer for just about an hour. My corn broth cooked for about an hour, and you can see the rich color. I did not strain it. I want the onions and the little pieces of corn all in my soup. So this will go along with the rest of the ingredients for a creamy ham and corn chowder. We're going to be making our corn chowder. So what I have here is a cup of brown sugar ham that I had in the freezer from Easter. And then I've got about 1/4 of an onion chopped. I've got 2 carrots chopped, 2 stalks of celery chopped, and about 2, how many potatoes? 3?
Just 2, I think.
Then we have our corn stock. We're gonna need a little bit of flour, a little bit of milk, and some butter, and we're good to go. I had 2 ears of corn frozen in the freezer, and I personally don't like corn frozen on the cob. I don't mind it, like we cut it off the cob and froze it in one of our zero food waste videos, and that's fine. It doesn't get mushy, but this gets mushy. So I figured, take the corn off of this. We need a cup of corn. And if this is not a cup, then what we will do is just supplement it with some frozen. And that's basically all it is. I have 1 tablespoon of butter I melted in my stock pot. Now I'm gonna add the onion, the carrots. Whoa, did you all see that potato try to get in there? And the celery. And I'm going to saute this, I don't know, probably for about 5 minutes, just to release some of that flavor. So I sauteed these for about 5 minutes, and they're fragrant and they smell wonderful. What I'm going to add now is 2 cups of my corn broth. You can use chicken broth, hopefully low sodium chicken broth. You can use water, but I figured I made this broth specifically for this reason, so this will be great. I am only making a half a recipe of this. I will link the original recipe down below. You can always click in my description box and follow it over to find the full recipe. And now that the broth is in, I'm adding my potatoes. And I'm gonna add some cracked peppercorns. I'm going to cover it, bring it to a boil, then lower it and simmer it for about 15 minutes. This simmered for 15 minutes, and I'm going to add a cup of corn, and this is the ones we cut off the cob, but you can use frozen corn as well. And I'm going to add the cup of brown sugar ham that we had left over from Easter. I put it on low, we're gonna cover it, and now we're gonna go to the second part of this recipe. So I moved the soup to the back simmer burner while I make the next part. I have 2 tablespoons of butter in this pan, and I'm gonna add 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of flour. And I'm gonna give this a good whisk, and we're gonna whisk this continuously for about a minute, just so we cook that flour. So I cooked just about a minute. Now I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of milk, and I'm gonna whisk this until it becomes thick. You can add a little salt, pepper, garlic, onion, whatever you'd like at this point. We're gonna add cheese at the end, so I'm gonna keep it just as it is. So I'm just gonna whisk this till it's thick. So this just cooked for a couple of minutes, and you can see, you can pull a line through it. That is thickened and beautiful. So our soup is on low, and I am just going to take this and add it right to the soup. Give this a good stir. This is going to be a creamy, delicious chowder. Look at this. And that is all there is to it. Now, if you wanted to add bacon with the ham, you sure could. We were thinking the ham was good enough. Now I'm going to plate this and sprinkle it with a little cheddar cheese. It is raining pretty good here, and this is gonna be perfect. I'm just putting on some cheddar cheese. This is a hearty, economical meal, perfect for autumn weather that we will be coming into sooner than later. We wish you bon appetito. Well, there you have it. A typical couple of days in the home of Emmy and Paul. We're always busy doing something, saving money here, saving money there, whatever it may be, trying to look at something and repurpose it, hence corn cob, veggie scraps, etc. So you get the idea of how we live our frugal life. We hope this video was encouraging. Make sure you come by next Tuesday for our video because we're going to visit Doris and Bruce, Paul's parents again, and we thought we'd take you along over this coming weekend. It's going to be another great little video with them sharing. I'll show you what we're bringing over there. Just a basic day in the life, but they always have so much wisdom to share. And they were so excited when I asked them if they wanted to come back on again. So we thank you for spending this time with us. Please stay well, stay safe. Remember, we love you. Remember, you are special, you are awesome, and you are unique to you. And that is the best thing you can possibly be. So until our next video, we wish you blessings. Have a beautiful weekend, and we will see you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.